um, what people are thinking, what is in their mind, what are they saying, how to decode their messages, then how you can speak without even uttering a word, and so on and so on. So it's a great experience, actually. It's a
Good.
great experience.
That's good to hear, considering you're very much overworked and you don't have enough time for, for anything. And, so it's a good idea. It's nice to hear that the work is not just something that you have to take, that you have to do. Of course, you're in class, you have to do the work, blah, blah, blah. But at least it's something that you can connect to for yourself, that you can find some meaning in it. Because I think if education doesn't have meaning in it, then it's pointless, it's fruitless. It doesn't hit home, right?
Yeah.
When, especially for artwork, because it's such a powerful tool for culture. And it is not just for the privileged few, it's for everybody, right? Beauty and aesthetics.
Yes.
Everyone, it's a baseline for everyone. Everyone should have beautiful spaces to create. And we have the power to create those spaces. We should have them everywhere, not regardless of economics. It should be there for everybody. So good to hear. Georgina, what is your feedback for the class? What any suggestions that you might have for future, how we do the Zoom, how we do the art class for the future semester? What would you change? What would you like to expand, or what worked for you, what didn't work for you? I think you have your mute on, so let's unmute you.
I think for me, everything is on. I don't have to take anything out because, to start with, you are a very good teacher, and it's not about you focusing on what we need to learn, but you still show concern about our family, and you check on us, how we doing. You encourage us to take a nap, rest. So for me, that's the most bigger part of what I take from this thing, and it's very, very good, because it's not every teacher that worried about your, think about your well-being instead of bringing all the materials, study them, submit. So honestly, I don't see you as my teacher. I feel like you are somebody that I can always run to. So I don't have anything to take out. And you taught us from the beginning, we don't even know we're gonna draw something, and now we can draw some. I don't have anything
you
to
can
teach
draw well.
keep what you are doing, because honestly, I meet a lot of professors, and you are one of the best. Trust me.
Georgina, so it's not, that's such a, it's very sweet, but it's part of learning how to do aesthetics and having beauty is of course about caring for, because that's the way the human family, of course, that should be the start of education. That there's human beings that you're communicating them. The material is second. The material, yes, of course, art is important. Yeah, of course, that's I believe that. At the same time, if it's not about what you're interested in, what your interests are, and a focus on well-being, is you can't do anything without your well-being.
Right.
So the basis, the start of it, is that you in your body are safe, that you're well, and that's the number one thing. Then you can do the education. If you don't have that ground, then it doesn't matter, because if someone can't find food today, their job is to find food. And that's something I think that we need to, in culture, really focus on, is that aesthetics can't happen if you're in that survival mode. And I think we have to all, and we shouldn't be in the survival mode. There's people, the planet has plenty of resources for everyone on the planet. Unfortunately, some people hoard more than their fair share, and it's not all right. And it's not, it's never been all right. So but nature is so incredible. Nature will continue growing. It will continue producing. You cut a plant, I showed you this last week, but you cut a plant and suddenly the roots will start growing, because the plant just wants to keep going, right? And as a human species, we have this idea that there's not enough, because we've been told there's not enough, but it's not true. There's plenty. If we know how to use it, if we know how to share it, there's plenty for everyone. And it's such an important thing to remember. that the baseline is for everybody to be well, right? Then the fact that beauty is for everybody, that and you claim it. It's your right. It's your birthright. It's like freedom. You should just have it. No one should take it away from you. It's something that you should be able to cultivate for yourself. You can create for yourself. Once you know how to draw, and that's another thing. It's not just the art. It's about living an aesthetic life. So look around in your space. If your space is not how you want it to feel, if something is off, if something is missing, sometimes, you know, when children like put trash all around or put, you know, it doesn't feel right. And so you have to go and you have to order, right, and organize. And once you have that order and organization, your mind is fine. You can think again. So having beauty and aesthetics as a base, I think, is a great way to live and to start, and for everybody to start living that way. And then to claim and hold those people responsible who have more than their fair share. And think about, it's thinking about, okay, if I have more than my fair share, where can I help? Where can I, and how can I help? Not out of an obligation or some charity work. It's out of a normal birthright. If you have more than your fair share, then you have to share. It's a problem if you don't, because if you have more, then someone on the other side doesn't have enough, and it's not okay. Okay, and so I think in art to remember as we go into these final presentations, you're talking about your visual now that is living outside of you. So your picture or whatever you create is now something that communicates to the world, and what it says is important, because that message is what will resonate with other people. So it's very exciting. Don't have any problems about speaker or anything like that. Don't be self-conscious. It's perfectly fine. And we will have about 10 minutes. Those of you who are on the call today are going to present today. Those people who haven't been able to be on the call, I'll focus on Wednesday. You have to email me, those of you who are not on the call listening and watching the video. Please email me what time you're available so that we can take time to present the work. If you absolutely can't, then you can send me a PowerPoint presentation with maybe a video or a recording or just writing down your presentation, okay? So who would like to start? Is there any questions before we start?
Oh, so we're doing the presentation today?
Yes, you're presenting today. Those of you on the call, you're doing it today. You don't need to. You don't need to wait. We're good. You're ready. It's all fine. It's a prize. Yes, we're presenting it today. You have, unfortunately, when I did the final, I changed the due date to the 16th, and it wiped out all the submissions that have happened thus far. So we had 7 projects that people have imported already, but the system decided to cancel everything. So if you can resubmit and resend it, I think I have most of your works that are on the phone right now, on the call. I have them, so we'll have a look at them. And then we have at the bottom. Let me just share the screen so that you can see where this is happening. We're going to go to coursework. Most of your projects have been marked. There are a few that I'm still getting to that submitted their projects either through email that I haven't gotten yet. But let's look at coursework. And you can see in the final that there's no submissions yet, but that's not true because most of you submitted already through an email. Okay, so we have the final project that you're submitting over here. You have till Wednesday to put it in. Even though you're presenting today, you still have until Wednesday to pass it in. Okay, so don't panic, you still have some time. The student survey over here is just for your feedback. It's not going to be graded. Okay, so the grade doesn't matter. It's a pass-fail. It's just basically a set of questions about how to improve the course. All right, what worked for you technically? What would you like to see? So have a look at that. And I think we're ready to have our conversation. I don't think there's anything else that needs to happen. Olusegun, because your presentation is up already, would you mind if we start with you? And your
okay, no problem.
I think it's a good place to start.
My God, I didn't do mine.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll look at
I have everything together, but I haven't put them in PowerPoint.
That's okay. You know what? We'll share maybe the screen and just look at the images and see. You don't have to have it in a final format already. It's okay for you to have it. You're submitting it on Wednesday. That's the deadline. But you can talk about your work already because you have that done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Olusegun Adeyemo. I want to present my final project, that is Injustice in the Society. Why do I pick this topic? What is my interest in injustice in the society? I realize that is very, very rampant nowadays, and it's very obvious that the society is being polluted with a kind of unjust situation. And that is the reason why I decided to pick an interest in looking at the picture, the big picture of the society, and mirror it with the arts to be able to use her to explore the injustice and say something, because people have been saying it. Say something. If you see something, say something. And that is the reason why I have to do this. Professor, can you move to the second slide?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. What is injustice in our society? We realize that everybody knows it's right in America. Everybody wants his right. Nobody wants his right to be denied. And that is the reason why injustice started. When there are some unjust way in the society, it shows that there is an injustice. What you're supposed to have access to, if you are denied, is an injustice. Why do you have to fight for your right before you get something that belongs to you is an injustice.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some situations where there are certain things that are equal, but the way the society treated it, or the way the authority treated it, they treated it unequal. For instance, the feminine issue. In the society, people differentiate either with sex, either male or female, gender issue on so many occasions. These are the things that cause differences. And on several occasions, the kind of judgment from the perspective of the society shows that a kind of favoritism is setting in, a kind of bias is setting it in their action. And that is the reason why we must condemn it, that this is not right for our society. Our society must live in peace. We must be able to relate together without having any bad feelings. Some of the examples of this injustice are discrimination. I think I mentioned it when they are discriminated. Okay, we only need men here. We don't need a woman in this kind of profession. No, that is discrimination. Also, the police brutality. We all see what happened during the Black Lives Matters. We saw what happened. We see the way police deny people their rights. On unnecessary arrest was made, and so on and so forth. Homophobia is also one of the reasons why we have the injustice. Racism is part of it, and so on and so forth. These are what we notice in the society that needs to be corrected. And that is the reason why we need to speak out. So Can we move to the next slide? Here, I haven't finished with this slide, but what I'm trying to do is to look into the archives of the artists that have worked on this kind of interest topic. And we have a lot of them. We have a great artwork that they have done. By the time I finish this project PowerPoint, I'm going to include them. We are going to see, for instance, when the George Floyd issue happened, you see a lot of the way people speak in heart. I speak louder than even voice, that government cannot do anything about it.
Right.
It even turned to embarrassment to see that picture, because the picture has become a logo. It's a symbol of something in the society. And these are the things the artists were talking about. These are the things they made to speak. And most of these have been in the years. This work can last in years, that even unborn child is still going to see. And that will remind them, or for them to go into a research, what happened during this period when this kind of artwork was created, just the way we have it in Egypt and whatever. So it's It's a glorious thing to have a great artist. I mean, a lot of great artists that have worked on this, and I intend to include their ideas, their inspiration that inspire me to go on this topic. I will add it later. Then the last and not the least of the slide is my own artwork that I created. Artwork on injustice in the society. The first paint artwork we have, we can see that it's like, I draw a mouth, people's mouth, just like my mouth. That is what I draw there. And what am I saying? I open the mouth to say something so that people can hear. And that's the reason why there is a message inscribed on it that be loud in the face of injustice. What am I trying to say? When you see an injustice, make sure you say something about it. Don't allow it to go. Don't allow it to, don't push it aside, because what turns to somebody may be your turn tomorrow. So we all condemn it so that the society can be better. And that is the reason why we decided to say, let's begin to speak out about injustice. Government will listen to us, authority will listen to us, and something will be done about it. You can see that in the police brutality, they are trying to look at the police, what do they call it? Police commission, to see whether there is something they can adjust to make their work better, to have a better relationship with the society, to make sure that they maintain law and order. That is it. Then the second artwork is a carve, candles met to form a slab, and I have to carve power to the people on it. What do I mean by power to the people? Just to show that power belongs to the people. The people on the street, they have a right. Give them their rights. Allow them to perform. Allow them to have a good life. Allow them to have a standard of living that they desire. Give them a free hands to operate. That is what it means. That power to the people. If you have power, you have autonomy. And that is what I'm trying to say there. And these are the little I've been able to gather as at now.
Right. Okay. So we let's have a look closely at these two works in particular. One, I think it's important, the idea of being loud in the face of injustice, of course, because it's so people try to silence each other and their histories. And it's interesting that part of the being loud and speaking is also that for other people to learn how to stop speaking and listen, right? So I think for politicians and for anyone, one of the main things to learn is to really listen deeply, and what that means, right? That we listen not only with our ears and to the words that people are saying, but also listen from your heart, listen from from your gut. How do you feel about certain things when people speak? People in authority and in power often have a stance. They will stand up and project their voice. And it actually comes from all the way from the Greeks, when the orators were speaking to the masses, right? Like they had the knowledge, and so the priests do this today, right? They orate, they have a mission, they have something to say, and they speak, right? From a point of view of thinking that they are the ones that know. Of course, part of the flip of this is that people know in their own what they need. They don't have to be told what they need, right? So listening to the people, listening to each other, part of today's practice in the final is to listen and to understand what people are what their messages are. And I think it's very clear in this work, not only using the words, which I think using the words gives the meaning, right? Listening to the words and having the words in front of you, but also the way that you painted it, Olusegun. I think the background, I'm not sure if in the first piece is gold, if that's gold paint.
Yes, because it's a colored pencil. That is the reason why we are having that scratch on it.
It's beautiful. The way that the background is done is quite magical. It's very reminiscent of sort of spiritual paintings, but we can talk about that later. But the scratches are important. It's almost like a grain of wood. It's a background. I'm glad you added a background to this because it needs to be set in something. And I think setting it in that particular color is very, very nice. It reflects back. With Power to the People, I also think that the solution was quite nice and fitting how you resolved it, how it merges, how Power to the People. It also is nice that the people are actually written in a different way, because Power to the People you can erase. You can take the soap and you can wash it away. The people part you can't erase because that's not on a different surface and different platform. So I think that's also nice that the people is actually more permanent than the power. So that's just something that is about the project that I like. It's so nice to hear how much artwork really resonates and how much there is power in artwork. There's certainly a tremendous amount of artists that work on this topic of trying to put messages out and having people, or giving at least people the space to write their own messages. There's a John Lennon wall in Prague that it's a graffiti wall where you're encouraged to go put your mark, leave your whatever message you want, and just giving the people the space to do that, right? This used to be a communist country. People weren't allowed to say those things. And to change and say, right, we're going to designate one section of the city for graffiti art. That alone is something. That's the power, giving at least people a chance to speak, a place to speak. Imagine if sections of every city had graffiti walls. Just go and tag and mark and create art, and they're overlapping and overlaying. Once you add your message, of course, you erase somebody else's. So you have to make sure that the message is potent, that it's powerful. The other artwork that I want you to look at is there's Black Lives Matter yellow paint that was drawn on top of a street, huge street going all the way to the White House. So you have that slogan, but you have it in huge letters across the entire surface of a street. And the perspective is that as you're reading the letters, you get to the White House in the end. I think there's different places that this kind of artwork is really important. And one of those pieces that I saw from this year was the Black Lives Matter symbol on the street. You can see it from the sky. You can see it, of course, so you're talking about sometimes centuries later, sometimes thousands of years later, right? And then people have to ask, or the alien species or whoever is here on the planet has to ask why that was important to us, right? And by putting or creating artwork, you're adding to that history. No one can take it away from you. It's like having Hatshepsut have herself as a pharaoh, and not being able. People tried to destroy it. People tried to push over the sculptures, but of course they were so huge and so monumental they couldn't topple them, and she knew that. So make your artwork as permanent as you can. Put your artwork everywhere that you can, and write your own history. I mean, I think that's one thing that we can do. Oftentimes we feel like there's nothing we can do about the situation. But I think just by putting your message out, keeping true to what your experience, your position, your life, your voice, that creates to the great scheme of things. And that's important not to be erased. So it's very nice to see that you're loud. You have created a piece of artwork about this, and it's important that your voice is out. So this is such a good thing, such a good way to start with these final projects. So exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so I think with the research, I think if you add an image of the Black Lives Matter going to the White House, I think that's quite an inspirational photo. It's all over on the internet. So if you look at Black Lives Matter in Washington, D.C., I think, I know it was painted in yellow on the street. And there were other places, I think in front of Trump Towers, they also painted Black Lives Matter, of course. So at these different monumental sites, right on the street itself is the slogan, which is quite strong. So if you add that to the research and research why and how that was done, how people came together to do that, to create that work, I think would be great. Any thoughts about this from all of you about this piece or these two pieces? Amy? This relates to yours
That's
as well.
a great work, and I like it
Thank you.
because everybody right now, we struggle with the same thing.
Hmm.
So he choosing this topic, and it kind of like related to each and every one of us.
Mm.
So I mean, I like it. I like the candle part, how he was able to resurrect from that last week and change that power to the people.
Mhm.
It's a very great artwork, and I like it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's the nice part, that artwork can shift and change and move. I mean, that's if you can keep your head from being rigid, right? If your own head, if you know your limitations and to be able to break through them and find a different solution, that's creativity. That's it. You don't have to create specific artworks, but having that ability to be creative in moments and redirect and reconsider and change, that's the creative part that's going to help you through life, right? Any other thoughts?
Yeah.
Yes, so I agree with Georgina. This is a very powerful piece. I love the mouth, the colors. It just really speaks. So well done. I just love it. I love the mouth. I mean, I'm just like drawn into it. Like, yes, people definitely just need to speak out. For what is right, what is wrong. Like we just need to use our
Good job.
voices more. Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the last suggestion would be to take the soap, use it to clean, wash it away, and then put the people into some sort of permanent, like carve it out of wood or something that makes it solid and forever. Right?
Okay.
People are forever. Power can go.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right, who would like to go next? Just talk about their work, and you don't have to have it in a PowerPoint right now. If you have emailed it to me, feel free to let me know, and I'll look it up in the email. And even if you're in process, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Especially Savita.
I mean, let me remove this charger.
I think that it's a good one to go after Olusegun and Georgina with your piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I even draw another one. I have
Good
drawn
job.
a lot of
Good
stuff.
job. You did a good job.
I draw a lot of stuff. This one without the hands.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I like I said, it's kind of related to our artwork as well. I want to talk about racism and the pain that it caused. One particular thing that I was drawing the thing and I was trying to put a concept to it is when during this election, when Biden won the election, I remember Van Jones. I don't know. He was one of the panelists in CNN, and he was very emotional. And he said that people are free because they don't have to explain to their son, like when police stop you over, how to react, or all those things that is happening. Like if I want to put in one sentence, is like they should be afraid anymore because they have somebody that even if not gonna protect them, things will change. Like a change has come. Let me put it this way: a change has come.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have a president that is like, he will say, "I'm not a racist," but he is, and it just I don't even want to get it because it would be like politics. But for me, that's one of the things that I really want to draw this eye, the tear eye, because myself, I'm afraid every time I'm going to work, coming back late, I close from 11 p.m. I was like, God, just protect me and take me home safely. Even though you haven't done anything, the fear of you being pulled over, something might change and nobody is even there to witness or whatsoever, is always there with me. So for the fact that I have sons, and maybe right now that change that has come, things like, it's not like we're just gonna say it, but like we're not drawing permanent and impermanent stuff. Some of these laws will change, that will minimize. We know that it's not gonna take everything away completely, but it's gonna change some of the laws that will minimize the way Black people suffer in our community. So that's the reason why I draw this tear eye. And it's kind of like the pain some people go through it, even in closed doors.
Mhm.
And then I have my goddaughter that I drew.
Beautiful.
I've drawn this picture more than 5 times because my daughter is the worst critic of me. Anytime I draw the Quenda, is this okay? He said, no, mommy. It's not, do this, do this. But it's hope. This child stands for hope. And I say hope because I met the mom when I was also going through a struggle during that time. And he has married for 18 years without child. And this baby was born when the mom was like 47. So the mom was close to menopause and she was so worried. And they are from Nigeria, and there is a particular tribe, Olusegun would know, it's an Igbo tribe, which like they are very, very high. When they marry women, it's like they are slave or something. So this woman is suffering from the husband family for not having a child. And I remember one day I said, I'm going to take you to Ghana. You're gonna adopt because nothing is coming and you kind of like running out of time. So it's okay when you adopt a baby, you're gonna build this connection with the baby and then it will grow and then you love her as your own child. And I didn't know what I said to her that day was like something that really is like somebody finally like listened to me and then they want to help me out of like another means. But it wasn't too long, this woman got pregnant and she didn't even know that she was pregnant. She having waist pain and then she was using ice pack, taking Motrin and everything. The pain will not go away. And then she went to the hospital and then it was found out she's pregnant with this baby. And it's a miracle child for us. And I love her. Anything that I do with my kids, she's part of it. I buy something for my kids, she's there, like, because she really bought before she came. Me and her mom bond so well because of those, because I was going through emotional something, and then the mom too was the same thing. And this woman never celebrates Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, I remember every Mother's Day, she would be rolling herself on the floor. She's not supposed to question God, but during that time, she questioned God. Why me? Why me?
Right, of course.
So it's always good to have hope.
Yeah, of course. And it's also, I mean, I think both of these projects, but and also I think you're understanding that you have the capability and the abilities to draw, to do your work, to paint. You have the skills. You have it somehow in your DNA that it's there. It's just that you've now accessed it, and you can now pour it out. You can keep just paper and pencil around, whatever image, whatever inspires you. Put it upstairs in your bedroom, and little table. It doesn't have to be a big something. And just if you have 10 minutes, and with children, I mean, that's oftentimes as much as you have. So 10 minutes, look at the image and sketch, right? And don't judge it. There's no, it's a freedom to understand that you can do art anytime, anywhere, for yourself, for the pleasure that it gives you. And then, of course, you have the message that you have. Georgina, I think, anyway, your work, you could start showing your work. We could start exhibiting your work at RCC. It's such a great thing to have you. I think there was one time in the semester where you were like, oh, I can draw, I can paint, it's amazing, I can do this. Yeah, of course you can. You have it. So now it's about what you want to say with it, and you are saying with it, you're speaking with it about things that are important to you. When you're looking at this eye, the eye generally, I think I understand why now the sign has to be with that eye, because that eye is connected to the sign and the suffering that it causes. What's wrong, what's a problem in our culture is that, of course, racism is ingrained. It's often treated as something that is a problem with, and I'm trying to pick my words carefully, with communities of color. Of course, the problem of racism is within the Caucasian mind frame, right? It was a feeling of entitlement that was ingrained 400 years ago when people subjugated and thought of other people as less than. And so this problem, as I would wish it would go away with a certain president, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to hit as hard as if we re-educated people to understand that human beings are, of course, everybody wants the same thing in life. You want to be secure, you want food on the table, you want to have a happy life with your family, and that's all one needs. So I think, I mean, I was so glad when Obama became president, and for my daughter, he was the only president she knew. So she had 8 years of Obama, and I was so thrilled that she was growing up under this president. But I knew that the pendulum often swings in the other direction, right? And Michael Brown from Ferguson was shot during Obama's reign. And I was questioning, how is it possible that we have Obama as president and this could still happen, right? How come the police state departments are not changed by now? How come the structure is not changed? And it begins, I think, in the brains of people when they're tiny, when they're children, that they learn entitlement, they learn privilege. And it's that we need to redirect and reconstruct. So I think it's a job on educators right now to dismantle this idea that someone is here put for your own personal use. No one's on the planet for another person's use. The other part of this project, when you have you're drawing your goddaughter, this idea of hope and what she stands for, right? Which is the opposite of an entitled white male. So it's a nice contrast. It's a nice balance. Of course, her image needs to be made permanent. Her image should be around for thousands of years, right? And this relationship that you have between the godmother's, the godchild's mother, this kind of intimate relationship where you've gone through a suffering as women. Having children is hard. Hey, you have oftentimes, 4 or 5 pregnancies throughout a woman's life, and we don't talk about how much pain and loss there is during that time. And often women don't talk about that because it seems to be a hush-hush topic. If you can't have children, or if you, it's strange. We don't talk about it, but we should, because of course it's every woman's experience to have suffering, to have loss, to lose children, to have problems during reproduction. And that's the norm, right? More women lose babies than they have babies. And it's not something that we go through together, which is a shame, because all of us are silent in it, and we're all in our suffering and forget that so many women go through these experiences. And for you to have found someone that you can talk to these experiences about is really that's the key, is that's the listening part. That's how you connect with human beings. That's how you empathize. And what a great way for you to have done that. Have you shown her the drawings? Your drawings?
No, I know she will be surprised to see it. I haven't shown it to her.
Good. Yeah. So now it's time for you to share all the artwork that you've done,
Yeah,
because
I
it's quite a
will.
lot. It's very nice. Other people's comments, and when you're ready to submit it all together, of course you can also reference other artists, anyone that you can choose. If you don't have anyone in mind, you can also just send me an email and I'll give you 3 or 4 artists that you can connect your artwork to.
No, say that one more time. I didn't get
So
that.
when you're doing your presentation, just like Olusegun, you have your project, the images of your goddaughter and this piece in particular. So at least those 2 in your final project in your PowerPoint, but also a connection to someone from art history or from who has inspired you throughout this semester. So you can think about any art. You can think about William Kentridge from South Africa about his work. You can include that in your PowerPoint because it's important to take not only what you do, but connect it to other people who are doing similar work.
Oh, okay.
Kara Walker is also a good one to connect your work to. But I'll send you some names. If you can't think of somebody who has inspired you throughout the semester, I can send you some names for you to include in that PowerPoint, okay?
Okay, good.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Great job. Okay,
Thank
who would like to go and speak about their work next? Amy or Edelyn? Edelyn, you want to go? And then Kenny? All right. All right. Edelyn.
So about my project, it's
That's right.
it's a treasure box that I do it myself, and it has some stuff in there. So that's the meaning. It's, you know, when you in my country, I never saw, you know, I always saw my mom with some stuff really mean something to her. She put it away somewhere, but never in a box or keep it somewhere, you know, to sometime my mom say, you know, this one I got it because somebody gave it to me a long time ago, and I love it and I keep it because every time that I saw that piece, it's like I remember the time the person gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do something like that, and I got a lot of stuff since I came here. There's some stuff my sister and my especially my kids, when they go, you know, go to school, they get an award. It's something that you keep very closely, and one day when they have their own kids, you can just show it to them. So this is where your dad, when they were little at school, they were doing very good, and they got an award. So that's a really a nice thing to do. So I took them and I put it inside. It's all of them here. So I put them inside and I decided to do that project. And then this is the first one. And the second one, I think I did this picture and I sent it to you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah,
This is
the
a
flowers.
beautiful picture. And
Yeah.
I decided to keep this one because when I was in Haiti, my mom always in the morning, especially when it's raining at night, she wake up in the morning early because sometimes some people, when they have flower, and then they always
Open.
cut them, especially when they're raining, and then put them back again on the ground so that they can grow. So my mom always wake up in the morning when it's raining, go to people when they're doing it. So she took some and then she put it on the ground, and then every morning we put some water on them, and then we cherish them.
Mm-hmm.
So I always do that with my mom, and I love flowers very much. I love them. I love doing it myself. So that's why I'm keeping in mind while I'm here, one day when I have my own house, it's gonna be a flower all over the place because I love doing it.
Yeah.
So this is all my 2 projects.
Perfect. So I think it's such the flowers and the story behind the flowers of being able to cut and take the flowers and replant them, reposition them, and then to be able to draw your own flowers so that even if you don't have your garden right now, you can create your garden. You can draw the garden. You can have, in fact, if you wanted to draw, 15 or 16, whatever pages of your flowers and put them around in your house, you can
Yes.
have that garden now. Right? You
Yes,
don't have
I'm gonna do that.
it's such a beautiful drawing of the flowers, and
Yes.
the meaning behind it is really, I mean, to know that your mother woke up after rain to go collect those flowers. It's such a different culture to think about having and listening to the rain, and then being so connected to nature. Really, that's something that and it's important from your perspective now to teach that to other people, of how to reproduce flowers and how possible it is for nature to reproduce itself. Because people don't know. They don't listen to rain. Right? Today it was raining and it's beautiful. So there was a sound on the windows, but people take it for granted. So your
So,
job is to teach what you have learned from where you come from, right, to other people, because knowing that culture makes it so much richer. It's like you've lived two lives. And for all of you who are from various cultures, it's important for you to share who you are now. And then this idea, the idea of the treasure box. um, of course the treasure is what's important to you, right? To other people, um, they, to take the time to take the award from your son, from what he got at school, to be able to share with him later. It's such a nice gift, but of course it's your own treasure. And the way that you decorated, tell me about this decoration of the box. Did you include the kids? What were you thinking? How did you decorate? And did you shut it closed so that you can, is it like a treasure box for the future where you open it? Or talk to me how you created the whole thing.
um, when I was, when you said the project, and then I was thinking about, okay, what exactly it's meaning. I want to do something it's mean, because when I watch TV here and I saw people, and then a movie, they have treasure box, and after so many years, and then they can go in the ground and then take that out and then show to people what should, to the kids, grandkids. This
Mm,
is what I have for a long time ago. They said,
mm,
grandma or mom, where did you get this? How you get that stuff?
mm.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna go. I bought the box, and then I took some paper towel
Yeah.
and I cover it with paper towel, and then I just little paper, color paper, and
Hmm.
I took those color paper and then I put on it.
Yeah.
And then there was at my work, the kids at my work always doing
Art.
coloring.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lady over there, and she have a bunch of stuff. And then I say, "Can I see your box?" She said, "Okay. What are you doing for?" And then I said, "This a project that I want to do, but I just need some little piece that I can put together." And then she said, "Sure, go ahead." And then I didn't have the box. And then when she showed me everything that she have, and then I took uh, um those little thing in there. I took
Stickers.
it from her. This
Yeah,
is all that I took from her, and then
it's
I
great.
put it on.
It's a way to tell your history in the future. It's almost like preserving your history of what was important. And then, 10, 15 years later, when you reopen that with your children and you're a completely different, maybe time and place, um, you'll be able to access those things that were important. Maybe some of the things that you have already forgotten, and some of the things that you remember, but also to decorate it and show your kids later on, I think is really very great memory.
Yeah.
Um, any thoughts about this project of preserving these pieces? I think this is what you do. This is you preserve your own history in an art project, and you create your own history with the flowers. Edeline, you created your history. You create what you want, the beauty that you want around you. Even if you don't have it, you can draw it. And then with the preserving for the treasure box, I like the name of that. The treasures that are important to you, which is different for everybody, right? The treasures that you put inside a box. For some people, a piece of napkin from grandma is not going to mean much. But if you can access grandma's napkin 100 years later and remember her smell or whatever, that's the connection. So it's great. Nicely done.
I mean, nice concept, because now I want to know what is in the box.
Yeah.
I wish I would be there to open the box.
We all want to open your box. We want to.
So it's a good idea, and then keep it safe for the kids.
Yes.
Yeah, the future they will open it, and then they will really appreciate it.
Exactly.
I don't believe in future. Give it to the kids in the next few weeks. They will open it for you, and they want to see what is inside because they believe it's a treasure. So
Yeah.
they want to grip of
Open it.
something on it.
Yeah. We might want to open it around the holidays or whatever, to show them. Yeah, you don't have to wait, 10, 50. But it's still a nice kind of a record, a trace of something, right? And that's what you do when you put these, I forget what they're called, but the things that you stick in the ground to recover later is what was important to you right now, and the memory of that, to be able to encapsulate it and then be able to open it up later on. It's really interesting. And whatever those contents are, of course, there's going to be the meaning for your children, right? If you put, there's I think some that now as a culture we take, there's a seed vault where we put all the seeds of the all the species of the plants, because in case something happens, we can go and get those seeds and replant them. So what you put in that box, of course, is also the meaning of that box. But of course, they want to probably rip it open today if they could. They're very sweet. All right, I think Amy or Kenny, who would like to go next? Thanks, Edelyn.
You're welcome.
May I please go Wednesday?
Okay, all right. Kenny, can you talk us through yours then?
Yeah, I don't know if the videos work that I added.
I have this one for you that I got as a PowerPoint. And if you have a link to a video, we can you can email it to me, and then I can and then I can show the video. So if you can email me the link. Do you have a YouTube video that you have?
Oh no, I added to the PowerPoint.
Excellent. Okay. Then
I
let's
think
let me
I'm
see
gonna
if I can
post it
pull
in
it
the
up.
chat.
If you can drop it in the chat, that's great too.
I think it's taking a second to load. Sorry.
That's okay. Do you want to go to the previous one that you sent me so that you can start talking about the project, and once it comes in, we'll be able to find it. Okay, so let's go to sharing screen. And I think the best way, actually, instead of putting in the chat, so I don't have to go between stopping sharing and starting sharing, if you can email it to me, then that would probably be best, if that's possible. Kenny, can. It's
So
okay. If you need to put it in the chat, it's okay. I can pause and just have a look at it. But we can start with the one that you have over here, and then we'll go to the video. Okay. So talk to us about what you created and why.
So my final project that I created was a sculpture and an artwork. What really resonated with me was like impermanence. And that was something that I really never thought of, like breaking something and then making a new artwork out of it. And so that kind of really resonated with me. So my artwork really focuses on some like the hardship I went through, which is like coronavirus. Like I'm a 15-year-old who like never really experienced anything like this, I guess. Being like stuck at a place for like 10 months and not being able to like interact with someone else or doing something that I'm really passionate in. So that was kind of my artwork, I guess. And so I kind of started out with the drawing. I didn't really know like how I was able to like start my artwork. So I did a drawing of it, and I really wanted to do something more creative. And so I kind of thought about doing like a sculpture. And so I did a sculpture from air dry clay. it was like my first time using it, so I had some issues making the sculpture, but it was a good experience. I made it like a stop motion film on like how I formed it all together, and I put that into like a mini clip. Um, and then I also had another video of how I broke it down into a flat surface where I could make my new artwork out of it. Um, and that was like the impermanence part of my artwork. Um, my new artwork, um, what I really took out of it was Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. He created it when he was needing help in the hospital, and how he said that one day the sky didn't the sky was like brighter with the stars, and the stars really resonated with me. I really liked, or I really cared about. So I really like astronomy, and appreciating the universe is really fascinating. So I kind of made a new artwork out of that. He used a lot of dark colors, um, and he also used a lot of like the contrasting between like the blue and yellow. And so I implemented that into my new artwork. So
And Kenny, this round shape over here at the top is your painting, yes?
yeah, that's my painting. So I flattened that out from the clay.
From the clay, and then you painted on top of it. So this is the squashed coronavirus clay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Now I understand. Okay. All right. So and then let's go look at your video if we can. Okay, let's download that. And I'm going to put it on the desktop. It's going to take a couple of seconds to download, and then the links are within this PowerPoint for how the coronavirus transformed.
Oh, I just added the video. I don't think there's a link.
Okay. Okay, that's why it's large and it's going to take a couple of seconds to download. So let's see if we can open it up after it downloads. Okay. And we should be able to see. Hold on 1 second. There it is. Okay, here we go. Sorry, folks, some technical difficulties. We should be ready to go. Here it is. Okay. So I'm just going to skip. I'm going to look at, unless you're welcome to just read through it if you would like, Kenny. I'm just going to put it at the bottom. But I want to see, my interest is, of course, the drawing is lovely and I love the design of it. And also how you approached in these different sections of looking at the center. But then to go to a three-dimensional model. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So that stop motion is lovely too. That the play of that was great. I'm going to play it again for everybody to see. Okay, so that's how the round structure becomes the virus. How do we change that? Literally reforming or reshaping the virus, right? Taking something and changing that, making it into a different structure. And I love it's lovely. And I love the even the plastic underneath and plastic around I think that's a interesting little parallel with having to be having to have a barrier. And then this is what comes out, the drawing, the painting of is what comes out from it. Do you have a stop motion of how you painted it or no?
No.
Okay, that's okay. Okay. Very, very interesting. And to transform it in the end into artwork is also quite nice, right? The message of, all right, let's reshape this thing and use it as a natural means. And of course, with Van Gogh's connection to him being sick at the time, and then changing the coronavirus, and he transformed his sickness through painting. He was able to take his mental state and recreate something beautiful out of quite a serious situation, right? In the Starry Night that everybody knows, this is when he was right at the beginning of the dawn, from his institution, opened the window. There was no buildings, no house over here, the city. He completely made it up, this little quaint city. There was nothing there. There were fields. So to be able to really transform and create the space for himself that he needed in his painting was very important to him. So I love that transformed, that the coronavirus transformed. I love that shape too, that it was created this unique shape that then you used for a surface to do a creative artwork. And I think that's a great comment. My only other suggestion was so that we can see that sequence, the last stop motion would be to see the painting happen on the platform. The other thing that's interesting is that this suddenly starts seeing the shape of almost like an emoji. If you can squint your eyes a little bit, you have this kind of face on it, if you can recognize that. But anyway, the landscape with this, the connection to that, and the background in the sky, you can continue painting it if you like, right? Connecting the horizon line to the skyline as you go. Interesting, really interesting. Any comments or thoughts of how to take this pandemic and turn it upside down and crush it, and then, make art out of it? I think that's what we should all do. Great job. Kenny, or anyone else, any thoughts? All right. So this will conclude us for today. I love this. Really, the creativity is quite nice in this one.
Yeah, Kenny, I thought the motion of the hammer bashing it was a really strong
job.
Yeah, so that was really good. I love that. So we definitely need to
we definitely need to crush that thing.
Crush it up. Yeah. Get rid of it. Yeah. So
the vaccine is around now. It has been crushed already.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's working.
We're getting there. It's slow.
So yeah.
No, it's great.
We need our life back together.
Yes.
Right. We also have to be mindful about how we re-enter, right? Because I think there is a connection now with carbon emissions, it being really low, right? Because most people the people who are working from home, not having a lot of pollution on the street, right? So we have to think about how we re-enter, and I think re-entering and creating art from the situation is important. Not just to go back to life as usual, but really learn from it, right? Learn about the inequalities that are happening, learn how apparent they are, learn how to create more equality wherever possible. Learn to create art with what we have been given. So in a way, seeing Corona for potential, not of course for the suffering that it has caused, but for transformation, for human transformation. All right. Great job today. Excellent work. Amy, we will see your project on Wednesday. Please submit your PowerPoints into I know that we changed the date and suddenly all the projects were wiped out. So if you can resubmit your project in a PowerPoint format into my RCC, and you'll have your grade. And next week grades come out. Wednesday, those of you who have presented, you don't have to be here, but if you would like to see Amy's project, and everybody else's, I would encourage you to come on so that you can give each other feedback. And it has been such a pleasure to teach this class, even from remote settings. It's been really a great experience. So take it with you. Create artwork everywhere you go. Create beauty wherever you need. Take moments for yourself. That's the key. You're not on the planet to work for anyone else. You're on the planet to live, and live the life that you want to live. So good luck. Yeah, go for it, Edwin.
What's our next thing to do now?
The next thing to do, you are you're so close. Let me share the screen with you. You are putting your final presentation over here into coursework. At the bottom of coursework, in the last one, you're putting your project into here. final project. That's where you put your, you upload your final presentation in. And then the student survey is not graded, but I would greatly appreciate if you can give me feedback. There's a couple of questions about how you like the course, how would you do to improve the course, and that would help. I think there's also a regular course. You can respond to the course through MyRCC. There's a feedback to every course, and that's where you put in, what you've learned and if you learn. And really use that time to give anyone feedback. I think all professors really look at that and shape the next course based on the feedback. So,
Okay.
And that's it. You are
Just put everything that I did this morning. Just put them back in the PowerPoint.
sorry, my son just came in about cookies. You said that, yeah, put in your PowerPoint into the final project and then you are complete. Edeline, I'm sorry, I lost you for a second. Are you still there? Okay.
I think his video is frozen.
Yeah, I think.
So on my RCC.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's yeah, the project that she said, that the one that I just talk about, just go to PowerPoint and then put it in there.
Yes, that's it. Take your work, upload the pictures, just like we saw on Kenny's, upload the pictures. You can put in a reference to an artist if you can think about one who has inspired you throughout the year, and then put it in as a PowerPoint. If it's too meddling, you don't have to do that part. Just put in your 2 projects. Your inspiration could be your mother from the garden and from the flowers. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got it. Thank you.
On my RCC, that they said the final project is like, I don't know what date it was put, and then he just, so I don't know.
So the project was imported from last semester, which was a summer session, so it had a strange date. I changed the date, but when I did that, I changed the date to Wednesday. But when I did that, I inadvertently kicked everybody's project out. So now there's no submissions, even though there were 7 submissions, and I can't go back. So please re-import them. That's my problem, because the course carried over last semester's final project. So if you can re-put your presentations in there, that would be great, because then I can see them. But if you
already, the thing is still there, he will not give you the access. He already graded because he said you didn't upload anything. So
it shouldn't have a grade on it until, so right now it looks like in the final project, it looks like there's 0 people, there's no submissions yet. And that's because it's open. If you can't submit, if it's not letting you through MyRCC, because in the assignment, it should be that the final projects goes in and the due date is on the 16th. I can accept submissions now. So you should be able to, you have one file to submit. We're not going to assign zeros. And yeah, there's how you get your percentage for your grades. 35 is the concept, the idea. Some percentage was a little research, but if you can't get to that, it's okay, you don't have to. And then how you created the project. You should be able to submit. There shouldn't be anything that's stopping you. If there is, Georgina, just email me the file.
Okay, I'll check. If it doesn't allow me, I'll just email it to you.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I have Olshagun's file. I have Kenny's file. I also have Edeline's, not a PowerPoint, but that's fine. And I have your drawings, Georgina. So you're all set. I would like to see the PowerPoint, so just send it to me when you're done.
Yeah, I will.
Perfect.
I will. So today will be our last class.
Today is our Wednesday is going to be our last class, and then next week you're going to get your grades in. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see Amy's project, so I will definitely be here for you, girl.
I think it's important.
I'm gonna be here too.
Yeah, because when other people are here for you, I think it's a good idea to come back and circle around and be here for other people.
Okay. We shall come back.
All right. I will see you on Wednesday for the final class. And thank you so much.
Honestly, I don't want this class to end. I love you so much, Professor.
We'll have some more discussions. We'll figure out how we can get this, keep things going.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Be well.
Bye.